The minigun, also known as the M134, GAU-17A, and Mk25 Mod 0, is a 7.62 mm, multi-barrel heavy machine gun with a high rate of fire, 2,000 to 6,000 rounds per minute, employing Gatling-style rotating barrels with an external power source. Used by about 20 countries on aircraft and surface vehicles alike, the minigun is a versatile and battle-proven weapon. Soldiers and equipment through the dense jungle found that the thin-skinned helicopters were very vulnerable to small arms fire and rocket-propelled grenade (RPG) attacks when they slowed down to land. Although helicopters had mounted single-barrel machine guns, using them to repel attackers hidden in the dense jungle foliage often led to barrels overheating or cartridge jams. The minigun's multi-barrel design helps prevent overheating, but also serves other functions. Multiple barrels allow for a greater capacity for a high firing rate, since the serial process of firing, extraction, loading is taking place in all barrels simultaneously. Thus, as one barrel fires, two others are in different stages of shell extraction and another three are being loaded. The minigun is composed of multiple closed-bolt rifle barrels arranged in a circular housing. The barrels are rotated by an external power source, usually electric, pneumatic, or hydraulic. Other rotating barrel cannons are powered by the gas pressure or recoil energy of fired cartridges. A gas-operated variant, designated the M134, was also developed, but was not put into production. While the weapon can feed from linked ammunition, it requires a delinking feeder to strip the links as the rounds are introduced to the chambers. The original unit was designated MAU-56A, but has since been replaced by an improved MAU-201A unit. Air Force. The USAF weapon has three subvariants, while the U.S. Army weapon appears to have incorporated many new improvements without a change in designation. Available sources show a relation between both M134 and GAU-2A and M134 and GAU-2B-A. A separate variant, designated XM196, with an added ejection sprocket was developed specifically for the XM53 armament subsystem on the AH-56 Cheyenne helicopter. Another variant was developed by the U.S. Air Force specifically for flexible installations, at the time primarily for the UH-1N helicopter, as the GAU-17A. The primary end users of the GAU-17A have been the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps, who mount them as defensive armament on a number of helicopters and surface ships. The weapon is part of both the A-49E11 armament system on the UH-1N and A-49E13 armament subsystem on the HH-60H aircraft. The weapons on these systems feature a selectable fire rate of either 2,000 or 4,000 revolutions per minute. There is mention of a possible GAU-17 designation, GAU Shipboard Equipment 17, in reference to the system when mounted on surface ships, though this would not follow the official ASETDS designation systems format. One of the first applications of the weapon was in aircraft armament pods. These gun pods were used by a wide variety of fixed and rotary-wing aircraft mainly during the Vietnam War, remaining in inventory for a period afterward. The standard pod, designated SUU-11A by the Air Force and M18 by the U.S. Army, was a relatively simple unit, completely self-contained, with a 1,500-round magazine directly feeding D-linked ammo into the weapon. This means the minigun fitted to the pod does not require the standard MAU-56, a delinking feeder unit. A number of variations of this pod exist.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, it's a weird fell out of the feeder. That's a shit sand.
Initially on fixed-wing gunships, such as the AC-47 and AC-119, the side-firing armament was fitted by combining SUU-11A aircraft pods, often with their aerodynamic front fairings removed, with a locally fabricated mount. These pods were essentially unmodified, required no external power, and were linked to the aircraft's fire controls. The need for those pods for other missions led to the development and fielding of a purpose-built minigun module for gunship use, designated the MXU-470A. These units first arrived in January 1967 with features such as an improved 2,000-round drum and electric feeder allowing simplified reloading in flight. The initial units were unreliable and were withdrawn almost immediately. By the end of the year, however, the difficulties had been worked out and the units were again being fitted to AC-47s, AC-119s, AC-130s, and even being proposed for lighter aircraft such as the O-2 Skymaster. A fit of 2 MXU-470, as was also tested on the AU-23A Peacemaker, though the Royal Thai Air Force who later received these aircraft elected to use the other configuration utilizing the M197 20mm cannon. Various iterations of the minigun have also been used in a number of armament subsystems for helicopters, with most of these subsystems being created by the United States. The first systems utilized the weapon in a forward-firing role, for a variety of helicopters, some of the most prominent examples being the M21 armament subsystem for the O-1 Iroquois and the M27 for the O-6 Cayuse. It also formed the primary turret-mounted armament for a number of members of the A-1 Cobra family. The weapon was also used as a pintle-mounted door gun on a wide variety of transport helicopters, a role it continues to serve in today. It must be noted that the minigun has been portrayed as a man-portable infantry weapon in media. This in reality is impossible for a number of reasons, i.e., weight, ammo, recoil, power supply, field ruggedness, etc. There have been designs though but have never been accepted for use in this role. However, there are firearms that would fill the minigun role for ground usage. The TKB-059 and the AU-63 assault rifle, which fires up to 6,000 revolutions per minute bursts. Assault rifles, SMGs with more than one barrel, or simply a GPMG with its ROF adjusted to rapid fire.